Yeah, hi Satabrata. How
Yeah,
are you?
hi Anshu. Yeah, I'm doing really good. What about you?
Yeah, I'm also very good. So, really excited to have this conversation. So, most of the time, I have come across people who have been struggling with landing opportunities, especially college students who are like looking for internship, looking for opportunities. Like, how should I go about it? How to start? What should be the roadmap they should be following? So, since you are also into engineering and you have this is your second internship, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
It's
so
going to
like
be my third actually, if you count the open source contributions as well.
okay, wow, so
So
great. So you would be the best person to share all the insight around how one can approach landing an opportunity. So we will be having a solid conversation around it. And with that, can you please introduce yourself to our like
yeah,
viewers?
surely. So first of all, I would like to thank Fueler and you Anshu as well for providing me this opportunity to speak around my experience that I have had till date. So hey folks, myself Satabrata Paul. Currently, I am a final year student pursuing my computer science from Heritage Institute of Technology, Kolkata. And I had started my journey back in second semesters, and I have learned a lot in the entire process. So I'm a passionate backend and cloud developer. I love building and playing with APIs. Also, I have a very fascination around DevOps as well. So I try to integrate all of these. Previously, I have interned in one of the emerging startups of like fintech startups of India, known as FinBox, as a backend engineer intern. Open source is my passion. You can say I really love open source. I love open source contributions as well. So I have been into major open source programs. For instance, one of them is Gulfstream Summer of Code, with which I got introduced to open source. And recently, I'm also working parallelly with the Linux Foundation, wherein I'm contributing to Open Delight project and stuff. So yeah, the Linux Foundation mentorship, the LFX mentorship, I suppose it was a very like one of my dreams to crack. It's almost equivalent to GSOC. And right now, if you talk like at the present moment, I have just received an offer from Atlan as a like backend engineer intern. Like it's just been 2 or 3 days that I've joined Atlan, and I'm like really, it was one of my goals, you can say, to join a product based company as an intern. So yeah, I guess that is getting fulfilled. And also these are all my like stats about professional, but yeah, in my leisure time I love singing. Music is my all-time best friend, and also I love reading books as well. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself.
Yeah, wow, awesome. So thank you for the sharing about it. And if you guys don't know, I got to connect with Satavartha a few months back, and the way like he talk about technology, I fall in love. And you guys will also you guys have also get an idea like what you will be getting from this podcast. So with that, I will start my first question. That is, how did you figure out that you should go in backend development?
Yeah, so this question actually I faced from my juniors as well right now that I'm in college. So the point is, the first thing which I guess we generally tend to like be a bit I won't say the term distracted, but a bit confused. Like as to which domain should I follow. So if I tell you about me, initially I had started off with front end development, that is learning HTML and CSS back in my second semesters, wherein I did not have a clear roadmap. I did not have a clear cut view or path. So what did I do is that I went on with the topic for about, let's say, 2 to 2.5 months, like exploring all of the intricacies of that topic. And then, like, based upon that, I would ask myself, or rather the thing which I thought is that if I am up and ready to solve that particular challenge in that topic the every other day I wake up, that is where my interest and passion lies. If I'm doing a Google search every day about that topic when I wake up, if I have something in my mind, okay fine, I have to build this particular thing, I have to build this mini project out of it, I have set a goal that fine, this topic I have to do it within this, that means that I have a passion for that, which means there is no one else to influence me. I am myself motivator and influencer. So initially I like went on with some other topics, but generally that time a particular term known as cloud computing used to fascinate me a lot. So I had read about it in, you can say, like articles, and also about like in various videos and stuff. So that really fascinated me, and I went on with it. I told to myself that yeah, if everyone can understand, why can't I? It's not like rocket science that is there. So I slowly proceeded on with cloud computing, and there I got introduced to backend actually, because we can integrate cloud specific stuffs with backend, and any kind of application which you design over backend. And if you need to scale up, for instance, you use cloud instances. So that's where I got introduced to backend, and I guess yeah, that from there the entire journey started. I learned a lot. I actually like followed open source materials, for instance, YouTube videos, some courses, like took a help from my seniors. So I curated my schedule according to that. So my suggestion for the new folks would be this: that if you are still in like just have entered college, or like just getting started to explore your tech domain, make sure that you give sufficient amount of time to a particular topic before deciding it, that fine, whether I want to pursue it this or not. It's not that you take up five things and five things are running parallelly. That would like a bit pressurize your mind, and you will be confused to which one to follow. So the point is like give some time, judge, like make a decision, and then you can proceed. Like I'm not telling that fine, you cannot learn other technologies, because all are like it's a kind of a branch of a tree where all the things are connected actually. Yeah. So, but yeah, you need one specialization area of yours. So this is how I guess you should proceed on.
Awesome, loved it. So, if I have to summarize it, like you were finding your curiosity, and it led to having around backend technology, and you kept diving in, and from there, like here we are talking about it. So yes, and yes, note it down, like guys. Like if you are starting with a technology, don't quit in 1 or 2 days. Try to keep going with some time, and yeah, try to build stuff around it, and quitting for without quitting easily. You should like try it out for some time. So yes, and with that, let's move to my next question. That is, as you said about like this is your third internship, so you must have figured out like what kind of project impress employers and folks who are decision makers looking for like giving jobs. So can you tell about it?
Yeah, sure. So, like generally, like before I got into my first internship, the point is about projects, because generally people try to focus on what should I build, such that the recruiters like take me into account, apart from the other applicants who are there for that particular role. So in that case, I what I felt is that like the project's domain, it's actually what are the role that you're applying for. For instance, if you're applying for a front-end engineer, the thing which generally is written in the job description as well. So what I used to do is that I used to go in LinkedIn, right, and whatever the jobs that were posted, I used to look at the job description for those specific roles, based upon which I got an idea as to what different kind of tech stacks each company used. And after getting a knowledge, okay fine, there may be 10 different kinds of technologies, and also like since I'm not looking at one job description, I'm looking at multiple job descriptions. So I got an idea of, okay fine, these are the technologies that I need to master myself before I can apply, because this is the general set of terms which are actually like taken into account by every other company that I have applied for. So like apart from that, I am like, once you have mastered that particular skill, initially I would suggest build some mini projects out of it. Mini projects in the sense such that you get to like get an overview and a good idea about each specific component of that particular technology that you have learned. Mini projects are not to be included in the resume. It's just for your own purpose and development. But now after building this, what you should do is that if you have any kind of idea that you can think about. So I will just share one thing. let's say for instance, if I am like to start afresh my journey for projects again, so one thing that I have, like if you tell me about new idea, so for instance we all have used Twitter, right? So I guess in case of development, like in any kind of software developing, you find he or she's on Twitter. So Twitter basically like helps us to tweet and get updates about certain things. Like obviously there is a search bar there or a search filter there. Now if I can implement an idea, for instance now it's a pandemic situation which we had, like now it's a bit less, thank god. It is a very good situation, but if you talk about the 1 year previous or 1.5 years ago, the situation was very much drastic. In that case, tweets related to COVID-19 specific, if you can build a particular platform, right? So it would be easier enough for the people who are actually looking for, let's say, hospital tweets, like bed availability tweets in case of COVID-19. So this particular idea, if that comes in your mind, and how you can build it very much easy. If you are into the backend perspective, Twitter provides their API, the public APIs with the help of which you can actually build it. So if you can build this, for instance, you have this idea, and if you and this entire project, like it may not be your building as a single. For instance, sometimes we think that fine, this is a very big application, how can I build it singly? No issues. Curate a team, like form a team among your batchmates or let's juniors, work upon it. And if some application is complete there, and if you include that and you can specify, okay fine, this application's entire backend has been built by me, so that would actually make the recruiters a bit good, like fine, he had a particular idea, he has transformed it and it's actually working. So building out projects from curating the mini project concept is what I prefer. Like, and also I want to prefer copying from, like generally what people do is that like follow some YouTube tutorials or videos, follow it up, like they have built out something and put it on resume. That doesn't hold value. Yeah, that may hold value for your learning the concept, but that doesn't show a proof of work for your project that you have built upon. So this is what I would suggest everyone.
Awesome. So just pick anything from any existing platform or any existing system, software system, and try to replicate or clone it, and whatever like you have learned, not because like just because
even this is also possible. Let's say if there are some repositories there outside, right? When already an existing application is there, so like you can take that, get an idea and build something new out of it, not just the entire thing of it.
Awesome. One thing that we at Fuller have been getting to hear a lot from especially from the backend developer folks, like how they will be able to show their proof of work. Like suppose as a front end developer, they have, let's say like front end is something that like they will be able to show and impress the employers. But how as a backend developer will someone will be able to show their proof of work?
So this is a very good question. Obviously, even I was in a particular situation previously where I used to think the same thing exactly that you have mentioned right now. So what I feel is like the backend developers, right? We are not well versed with front end. Honestly, I am not. But I know little bit of front end. So what I suggest is, like if you're getting started with backend development, how can you share your proof of work? Like if you can share the code, right? Or that is one of the point where you can share your proof of work. Now you may already ask a question right now that fine, will the recruiter be interested enough to like go to the entire code and make a decision, because they have to review multiple applications, like all the applicants for that particular job. So in that case, what I feel is that if you have a minimal knowledge about front end, for instance, if you just know basic JavaScript, if you don't want to write CSS, you can use frameworks. I personally use frameworks, for instance, Tailwind CSS or Bootstrap, and HTML. Obviously, that's the like basic skeletal structure of web. So the point is, if you know a minimal knowledge about front end, just build a working UI with it, like if possible at all. You do not need to go into the more details about designing every section of that particular UI. What you should focus upon is that the backend code which you will write, whenever you hit a button, the response or the page that will be displayed, that should be super fast. So that is where your backend is optimized to give the results to the front end. So what generally backend, what I felt is the recruiters look is to how you can build your entire backend code in a more like you can say in a structured way, in a more proper manner. I mean that it is actually product based, like it is like not curated to only development environment but also production environment as well. So if you can build that and share that particular code snippet, or let's say you record some video wherein you are explaining each of those particular parts of your code, not the UI, right? If you just record a small video about 5 minutes or let's say 3 minutes, you can actually make this as your proof of work, which means you have the knowledge about how to build a backend, a scalable backend, and then you have shared it. So I guess this would help you. And I think one more thing is that, like, I'm into DevOps, so even I sometimes feel, as of now, even you can say that if I go on learning with some DevOps technologies, how can I show those basically? So in that case, the same thing works. DevOps is basically related to production environment and stuff. So in that case, what we can do is that we can build something and record each of those DevOps components that are working. So that gives the proof of work as to that you have a knowledge as well as you have implemented something with it.
Awesome. So like I personally have got the answer, like what to say to the folks who are looking for. Yeah. So with that, let's move to the next question. So I wanted to know, okay, where do you find these kind of opportunities? Like suppose like kind of Atlan, you are currently internship. So where like what are the resources or platform you would suggest?
This is a bit serious question to address actually, because generally I get to hear from folks that where do I find the resources from? Like, it's so much scattered. The internet is huge, and we need to find like certain like ways to actually get those things. Initially, if you are on LinkedIn, obviously I guess every aspiring software developer should be on LinkedIn. You can like switch on the job alerts. What I found out more specific is that LinkedIn has a set of feature known as LinkedIn assessment tests. I guess if you have explored like LinkedIn properly, you will find that. So if you have like, let's say I specialize in APIs, for instance, let's assume I specialize in APIs and I have proper knowledge about it, I can answer any question that is presented to me about APIs. So what I can do is that I can take that particular LinkedIn skill assessment test, right? You have to pass it, which means if you pass it, you will be addressed a particular skill badge from LinkedIn. So, and that will be attached to a particular LinkedIn account. So which means you'll be able to view it anytime you go over LinkedIn. Now this helps in somewhat in a better way. So any kind of job description that is posted over LinkedIn from the recruiters, right? And if that job description has that particular keyword known as API, for instance, or let's say if it's an API specific job, since you have cleared the API assessment skill test of LinkedIn, you will be notified about that job firstly before you are getting notified about others. Why? Because that is your skill set area of improvement where you have actually specialized and mastered. So this is the thing which I find out, because if you go right now, you will find I have a skills badge in Python, Node, and most probably I have in HTML or something. I'm not sure. I have in DevOps as well. Maybe I'm not sure. I have to check it out. So yeah, after I passed this, what I noticed when I used to go in the job section of my LinkedIn account is that all of the jobs that are more specific to these particular topics used to appear on my timeline first. So what it does is that it gives a filter or a path to you. Okay, fine, these are the opportunities related to APIs or backend. You can apply. Okay. This is one. Second, which I would suggest is you can make account on platforms. One of the most recommended platforms that you will find everywhere is like AngelList. Also, you can say Qubit Tech as well. But I find AngelList more because those are actually sometimes there are cases of which I have found that find this thing is fake or this platform is fake as such. But you can trust AngelList honestly. And also there are some other platforms which actually provide you this. So you need to create an account there. So whenever any kind of job posting matching your profile that you have created on that platform, you will be notified via email if you subscribe to the newsletter as well. So I personally got Atlan from AngelList. So that's why I have a faith on it, you can say. But yeah, AngelList is one of the platforms. There are other platforms like InstaHire and stuff. The third most thing that I found out new as of now, and it's really good. It actually tests you from top to bottom. Is that there? Like I guess it's from An Academy. That is re-level by An
Yeah, yeah,
Academy,
yeah.
and also I guess I came across some YouTube video about Codilla tests as well.
Mhm.
So what these platforms do is that they will like present you with a set of tests that you need to go through, right? That will need to appear, like it will be like proctored, like an online test that you give, right? So after you have given the test and whatever the score that you have achieved with the particular test, so it will be there on your profile on that particular platform. Now the like companies who have integrated or partnered with that particular platform, they can view your score, and based upon that they can directly give you an interview call as well. So like the here two things are getting developed. One, your confidence about how to appear for an online test, and also whatever the concepts you know are correct and accurate, that is getting like you can say done by this entire series of online tests that happen. And nextly, you do not have to go and apply and write some forms with the recruiter. Based upon your technical knowledge and skill set, the recruiter will find you, or like apart from you going to everyone and reaching everyone. So that is the thing, I guess. Like these three steps, if the folks follow, is more than enough. One more thing which does work sometimes is referrals. But yeah, referrals, obviously you need to think about, if you're asking about someone about referral, which means you are confident about whatever you are asking, right? So it's just that, like, okay, fine, Lena hai referral de liye, so that must not happen. So yeah.
Awesome. So like guys, we will be listing all the resources like Satabrata mentioned, and you can check out all the resources, because like all the resources like he listed, he talked about, is really amazing. LinkedIn and AngelList is also my favorite, so you can check it out. And yes, with that, we will move to next question. That is, can you tell us about interview that you gave to land Atlan?
Oh yeah. So yeah, surely I'll share my experience, because I have been getting a lot of DMs over LinkedIn to share my experience how I landed at Atlan. So initially the process started with like finding out Atlan over AngelList, and more specifically the work that is going on in Atlan, that I saw about the product, I saw about the job description, so I felt confident that yeah, maybe I can be a good fit for the company. So I went out and applied, and also my resume was, I would not comment much on my resume, but yeah, it was a bit in a proper shape and structure, because I already had one previous internship. I had worked in the Linux Foundation as an open source contributor, so that really made my, you can say, resume apart from other applicants. I'm not sure, but yeah, first thing I applied, and obviously the thing that we tend to lose is the patience, because when the recruiter will apply, or is my application getting selected or not. So those are the things that are there. So I applied and I waited for, I guess, almost about a week or so. I got a reply that fine, my application has been shortlisted. And then what they did is that they send me a problem statement, a proper problem statement, wherein I actually had to solve it in 1 week. Why I'm saying 1 week is that because it actually demanded for an entire production level backend code, right, along with design specification, comprehensive explanation, and my particular code that I'll write. So it was a 6-page Google Doc problem statement. So it was like, you can imagine like what the company is expecting out of me, because they're giving me 1 week to develop something. 1 week is really a lot of time. So they sent me out that the day I received that email. I still remember it was 1 a.m. in the night when I like scrolled my email and got that. So initially I was a bit confused, very much what to do, because the main thing which I felt is understanding the problem statement is really important. Before you jump onto something, before you jump onto a solution, understand the problem statement and what the technical recruiters need from you, right? Understanding that, and then you can proceed on with the solution. So I took you can say a help from like the resources that are available. The one thing which I took mostly the help from resources, in the sense, obviously they have given you 1 week of time. So obviously you need to think about which language to use, what framework to use. You need to think about that before you proceed to code on with it. One thing which I made myself accustomed is the actual product of the company. So Atlan has his own product. I went there. I took a look as to how the entire thing looks like. I got a picture in my mind, and then I thought, okay, fine. Now, based upon whatever I have watched, I need to design right now. But taking into account the problem statement which has been given up to me. So this helped me a like lot. I used to like switch back and refer to the actual product so as to like make sure that fine, I'm going in the right direction of like solving that particular problem. So I sent it within 1 week, and then the wait was really long. After about 2 weeks, I think on the 15th day. So 2 weeks is a lot of time. I gave up hope, honestly, because I never expected a reply because it was really like a long time. But yeah, I guess as mentioned in that particular film known as The Shawshank Redemption, the Shawshank Redemption. Yeah. So hope is a good thing, and probably the best of things, and no good thing ever dies. So I cling on to that hope that fine, the reply will come, even if it's a rejection, I'll accept it. But yeah, then I got find the technical senior engineers have liked their solution, and they would like to schedule a technical screening round.
Okay.
So then I was invited. I got my round there into technical screening. So there, what they essentially asked is that whatever the solution that I had provided, I had to explain the interviewer entire thing. Also, they took up each of those components from there and made like gave me certain scenarios where that particular my solution might fail.
Okay.
Right? And at that point of time in the interview, I was asked to provide a better approach, or what could be my approach, and also explain the pros and cons of it as to why I should go with that approach in order to solve that failure in the solution that I had. So I guess there were about like 6 to 7 components which they picked up, and also they told me to like explain the entire architecture. So I literally drawed like there is a particular draw tool which is available over the net. So I drew the entire architecture, like the overall system design actually, and I explained my things out there, what would be my approach in doing this and that, and why I have like went with that particular solution that I had already sent them prior to 2 weeks. And the interview was very smooth. The interview was really good, and then I waited for 3 days. So again the email came that I got a call from the HR as well that the technical round has been cleared successfully. And next there was a cultural interview round. So it's actually with the co-founder of Atlan. It's not like sometimes we may think that the cultural, it's more of an HR round, but not the HR. It's directly with the co-founder of the company. So I guess it is really important because before you join such a big like product-based company, for instance, and the co-founder himself is taking your interview, you get a feel of that fine, the company where I am like have applied and I'm willing to join is a place where culture is really important. That's a mark there, because if you do not have a proper culture when you work, you would not be able to work properly. The co-founder of Atlan, I had the cultural interview for about, let's say, 30 to 35 minutes. National service, it was 40 minutes. It was really good. I would not say the exact questions, but because I also do not remember, it was like about 1 week prior or so. But yeah, they asked me about my journey, what I had, as to how I reached here. Right now, they presented with the certain scenarios and asked me what would be my decision in this case. So all of the cultural interview stuff that you can think about. So yeah, and that evening itself, I got a call that fine, welcome on board to Atlan. So I guess it was a very wholesome moment for me as well, because if you count the number of days, it was almost a 1 month long process. So keeping patience and holding on to what I believe is that like what has brought me right now to Atlan. I'm really happy with it.
Awesome. So like we can say that like the assessment you gave, the problem statement solved, that work acted like a proof of work for you. right?
Exactly.
So like,
That actually like made a proof of work statement that fine, I have designed something
mhm.
wholly by myself. I have not taken help of others. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So, lastly, I would love to know that what would you advise someone, like what would you advise someone who is looking for internship currently? Like
Okay,
any piece of advice?
someone who who is right now looking for internship opportunities, the first thing that I would suggest is do not get demotivated, my friend. Yeah, I have listened to lot of stories, lots and lots. I still remember I watched a YouTube video. He's right now a senior DevOps engineer at Microsoft, and
Mhm.
he got rejected 386 times. Even
Okay.
like before he got his first internship, not even a full-time job. So 386 rejections, if that can lead to 387th attempt, by the
Mhm.
help of which he landed an internship at Microsoft itself. So why do we get motivated by one or two rejections, right? That is the first thing which you should keep in mind. The second most important thing is work on a skill sets. Your skill set should be like uh, I don't know if you follow football or not, but yeah, I am also not too much fan about football, but I do keep updates about it. So there is Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So he actually like once in a particular shorts YouTube short I was going through, I actually saw one thing that make sure whatever you are the best.
Okay.
There is no other competitor about it. Yeah, there may be competitors to outdo you, but make sure that you give 100% and you are the best. You are the lion of the jungle.
Yeah.
Make sure. So that really motivated me. So what that essentially means for you all is that to focus on your skill set. Make sure whatever you are like, whatever you take up a topic, go in depth, like go practical rather than going theoretical, right? And like make sure you learn it properly, implement it properly, and these particular skill set is what makes you like what sets you apart from the other applicants who are applying for the job. So first is not to get demotivated, second is build your skill set every day. You must make sure that you find yourself in a better position to what you are today. And the third most thing is that uh, I think we generally tend to distract ourselves into various like I'm not talking about like philosophical stuffs like going to parties and stuff, but yeah, I'm not telling about that. Parties are essential,
Mhm.
right? You cannot like study for 24 into 7 honestly, but not getting distracted, I mean not getting distracted from your own goal, whatever you have set, right? Make sure you have small term goals. If you connect that dot, that would actually be y is equals to x squared, right? This is a parabola, it scales
Mhm.
upwards. So that is made by if you join all the dots together. So small goals can lead you to your bigger dream. So I guess these three are the things which I would tell, because finding an internship is tough right now because the competition is really very vast and very big. But also not to give up is what sets you up apart from others. Maybe let's say if you do not give up and if you apply tomorrow somewhere and the person who has given up doesn't apply, so maybe the next interview call will be for yours. So yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So like, love the part you talked about, like being the best. I was like listening to Mr. Beast podcast on Joe Rogan. So where he talked about like Joe Rogan asked like him ki, like why are you doing these many things and these many big things? So his answer was really simple. Like I want to be the best, and loved
Correct.
it. So thank you guys for listening to this podcast. Hope you will be finding ways to land internship, and we will be doing many podcast along with Satabrata. Like there are so many things that we want to explore, that Satabrata like Satabrata will be able to share around open source, like how to contribute to open source, and like how to find technology, like what technology you should be preferring as a backend developer, because like most of the time like people struggle with this also, like whether I should learn this technology, that technology. So like we will be discovering more on that also. So with that, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Satabata, for doing this. And yeah.
Thank you so much, Anshu, for having me, and thank you to all the folks who are so patient about listening.
Mhm.
Uh, don't worry, you can conquer whatever you need to achieve.
Awesome, awesome. So, lastly, I would like to end up this. Like, I'm not like this is not my question. When I told my like team like I am going to do a podcast with Satabrata. So, there are folks into development. They wanted to know कि, like what's your current CTC as an intern?
Okay, so as an intern, I'm getting like you're saying the monthly stipend, right?
Like you can say also overall thing.
Yeah, so monthly right now as an intern, I'm getting like I'm not sure if I should disclose that or not.
Like if you are
But
comfortable, like I'm
yeah, you can say
yeah.
it's 40 plus. So
Okay, awesome.
it's 40 plus per month. Based upon that, you may decide that can.
Yeah. So guys, like all the folks who asked, you must have got the answer. And yeah, thank you Satabrata for doing this. Yeah, bye bye.
Yeah, thank you so much.